I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling the city like I'm dealing with tears. One mic, one hook, just rolling the city. On the mic like silver, man, I flow comedy, can't come realer. And the light from the arms might kill you, but instead I throw palms and heal you. In the city where shit gets gritty, and the dreams just don't come fair. By any means, we all need this radio. So fiends got more times in a Aguero. Man, it's all messed up, we got the whole game dressed up. Fake life in a red tux, no clue to your head stuck. And I'ma just keep eating rappers like Sammy, cause your weak bars couldn't touch or harm me. I defend my team like Walker, but it's just me, myself in the army. So I just implode facts, kick back like Kimbo's back. Trust me, I've been low, it's mad. So many souls been broken hearts. And the mad roll round in the whip and all of the windows black. So you're thinking they with those straps, and the thing goes black. So you could get hit quick with a ricochet, let we split like rips in a whipping tray. Death just fucks with a living brain, like you just one real bad trick away. Man, it ain't fun to run, and I think that they've done the one. On a knife either, it can turn on your neck and get caught like a white beater. Man, I'm real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. Real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. You can shoot your shot, I won't let it in. Like Edison, you just miss them, run no reverend. No hits, but the whole shit's relevant. Kick stay crispin' and mix that's evident. Words to the prince, bars telling them. Murder them quick, fast shelling them. That's a lie that the OG selling them. Hold me rock, don't go propelling them. I just say to find ways, hit hard like Pep in his prime days. Stop me, I don't break down like Rodri. You ain't getting in my space, you ain't getting in my place. No way like setting a blind maze. Wanna know why I'm getting these migraines? Flow cold, I'm setting the ice age. You can never go far though, I know. You don't get a clap, no bravo. My whole track's in my head like marble. Those rappers in my bag like marbles. Thinking I'm a trip like carpools. When the girls say hey like Arnold, I don't quit when I'm back for shit. If I flip when I spit, it's a rap no parcel. I'ma go in, don't tempt me. I've been jamming on the mic, I'm Mendy. I don't like hard in the city. It's a red card if you roll 10 Mendy. You don't look me all trendy, so you wear cut eyes from Fendi. Man, I spit like Uzi's plenty. It's no wonder the shells are empty. Real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. Real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. Real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with tears. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. A magician on the mic like silver, man, I flow comedy, can't come realer. And the light from the arms might kill you, but instead I throw palms and heal you. In the city where shit gets gritty, and the dreams just don't come fair. By any means, we all need this radio. So fiends got more times in a Aguero. Man, it's all messed up, we got the whole game dressed up. Fake life in a red tux, no clue to your head stuck. And I'ma just keep eating rappers like Sammy, cause your weak bars couldn't touch or harm me. I defend my team like Walker, but it's just me, myself in the army. So I just implode facts, kick back like Kimbo's back. Trust me, I've been low, it's mad. So many souls been broken hearts. And the mad roll round in the whip and all of the windows black. So you're thinking they with those straps, and the thing goes black. So you could get hit quick with a ricochet, let me split like rips in a whipping tray. Death just fucks with a living brain, like you just one real bad trick away. Man, it ain't fun to run, but don't think that they're gonna...
Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us for this quick roundup tonight. It's a quick one. It's Friday, so as you know, people are out and about, busy, and but there's still quite a few things to talk about today. And if you've not seen it already, it's in the description below the video, the live stream video now. So let's have a look, see who is on. Fergal Norton's on. Hello, everyone. How are you, Fergal? I'm good, mate. I hope you are grand. Thank you. Edward Denham. Hi, guys. Fergal. Hi, Ed. Hello, mate. How are you doing, Cal? Hope you enjoyed the final. Part 3. Don't forget, Part 3 came out this morning of the podcast with myself, Cal, representing Everton, talking about Everton, City, and all other football things. And Yannick from Football Therapy, and Yannick at Chelsea. And so we had to split it down. It was originally, like we do normally around about an hour on podcasts, but it just went on and on and on. There were so many topics and, so many questions that, we were asking each other. It went on for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we decided rather than put it out in one, put it out in 3 parts. So I hope you're enjoying the 3 parts of the last one came out this morning. So if you've not heard it, part 3 is the golden question, where the guests get to ask each other one question. I don't ask them because I'm asking them questions during the podcast, but Cal gets to ask me any question. I don't know what question it's going to be, and one for the other guest, which was Jan. Likewise, Jan can ask me anything he wants about football. Could be Man City, and he got to ask Cal a question, which was quite interesting. And then I asked them at the end, I won't give too much away, but I asked them who they think is winning the league. So go over and listen to the podcast and see what they say. So, go over and check that one out. And if you've not listened to part 1 and part 2 of episode 5 of the podcast, please go over and watch it. Remember, it is free to download as well. So you can go over to SoundCloud and just download the app on your phone. It's free. And you can download the app if you're out running or you're in the gym or whatever, where you don't want to watch it on YouTube. You can actually listen to it, get in bed or you're doing some work or whatever. So go over and have it. It's a good listen. Let's have a look. Big jump there. Sorry. Coblendale. Oh, hello, Andy. Thanks for the emails. You're welcome, Edward. Don't forget, yours should arrive tomorrow. And then I sent the other one. That was Craig Forrest, who runs Hearts Fan TV. He purchased the Centurions artwork. So I've sent his off as well today. But because of the size of it, it's had to go special delivery. So he might not get his till Monday. But don't forget, Edward, let me know. Just send me a quick email to say that you've got it and everything's fine. Aaron Johnson's on. What's this music all about? This music, that's Jay Cactus, who wrote that song for Man City Fan TV with all the players' names and things like that in it. So that's Jay Cactus, produced by Bazza, and we try and push his music and things like that as much as possible. So if you've not. I wonder if I can bring it up. If you'll, I might put a link in here actually. Let me just see if I can put a link to his Man City track, and you can. Let me just open it here without sound, and you'll be able to go over and check out. I've just put the link in there, and that's Jay Cactus in the City, and like I said, that's did a video. There's also a video on the channel that I did with him talking about his music and the fact that he wrote this track for Man City Fan TV. So go over and support him. Go and have a listen to his other stuff as well. So hello, Aaron, says Fergal. Hi, not sure to be honest. Niall Hill, hi mate. Abdallah Alamami, it's Liverpool's time to lose. We just unpredictable. One moment we lose and one moment we win. Liverpool are relentless. They're scraping through games. They are scraping through games, and that's what you need to do if you're going to win titles. Happy Friday, everyone. Kiam's on. Really enjoying the podcast. First 2 parts done. Great. Hi, Andy. Hi, Abdallah. Cal, it was the Bernardo Silva topic that went for ages. It did. Edward Denham, why am I reading that we've lost the appeal to CAS? I thought there was positive news. Well, it is. I mean, I don't think there's any surprise that the appeal to CAS was not back. I don't think there's any surprise in it whatsoever. CAS, we all knew it was just a formality, and we'll talk about CAS and the appeal and everything else. So I want Soyonku because Evans a player for United, says Iana Moran. Hello, Ryan Corrie. How are you, buddy? Not spoke to you for a while. Hope you're well. Edward, did you see that City have received a 2,500 allocation for the Zagreb game next month? I haven't, mate. I'll be honest. Kamal says, hi, guys. How are you, mate? Nice one, Andy. You're welcome, Aaron. Cal, have you seen Fatty from Barcelona? Yes. They're all claiming that when Messi goes, he's going to be the next big thing. I'm not too sure. Thoughts on Sionko Evans? Is it the summer or January? Going to talk about that. Hey, Chris Baker's on. Hello, mate. How are you? Hope this busy period is just winding down for you, fella. And right, okay, then let's get into it. Like I said, this is not going to be a really, really long one today. And we may as well start off with the news about the Court of Arbitration, because as you know, yesterday there was speculation in the media that City were going to not, let's face it, not be, let's say, not charged, but found guilty of UEFA FFP ruling, because UEFA believed it was they would get wrapped up in court for years upon years upon years at huge expense. And City did warn them of that. But as you know, the formal process, and if you haven't seen the videos and you're not really one for financial stuff and you're not really into it, or you don't really understand it, go over and watch the videos that I did with Press Switch Blue and also Jonathan Northcroft, all about CAS and everything else to do with the UEFA financial fair play. But basically, what has happened is people might look at this today and go, oh, see, there you go, it's, bad news. It's not. It's just nobody, I don't think anybody thought that CAS would uphold the appeal by Manchester City to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. It was just a formality. It was a process that, they'll try every single thing going to just try and get it to the point of where it doesn't have to go forward. And the CAS might have forced something on UEFA to say, look, put this to one side. But we knew it would never, ever go through. So City's attempts to stop UEFA's case against the club for alleged breaches of financial fair play regulations have been thrown out. The club had asked the Court of Arbitration for Sport to halt the case against them in an attempt to get it thrown out. City had appealed to CAS after UEFA's investigatory chamber referred City's alleged FFP breaches to the governing body's adjudicatory chamber and had recommended a sanction against the club. The appeal was lodged with CAS in May, with City seeking an annulment of the JC decision, basically the adjudicatory chamber, which could see the Blues fined for breaches or even issued a ban from the Champions League. But CAS have now ruled that they cannot hear the appeal and the case is inadmissible due to the fact that all legal avenues haven't yet been pursued before taking the matter to the Swiss-based court. A statement from CAS said, the CAS panel determined that City's appeal was inadmissible, considering that, in quotation marks, an appeal against the decision of a federation, association, or sports-related body may be filed with CAS if the appellant has exhausted the legal remedies available to it prior to the appeal, in accordance with the statutes or regulations of that body, which is Article R47 of the CAS rules. In the present case, the decision rendered by the CFCBIC to refer a case to the CFCBAC is not final and can therefore not be appealed to CAS directly, because the adjudicatory chamber is competent to take any of those decisions listed in the Article 27 that are described as being final. The CAS decision means UEFA investigation will now reach a conclusion. So basically, what has happened is, as we know, the adjudicatory chamber, which is the higher level from the investigatory chamber of UEFA, they basically said that there is something to answer for, and the recommendations were that if an investigator, from the materials that were produced, which we know were hacked, allegedly, then there would be a charge to answer, and that could involve a fine. It could involve being kicked out of the Champions League. Of course, the next precedent was City were going to appeal to CAS to basically say, look, kick this out, because the way that they've rushed this through towards May to get all this out before a specified date, I think was in April, it's just a rushed investigation, and they're claiming this, claiming that, claiming the other. and it's bonkers. But it was a formality that City were going to go to CAS anyway. I don't think anybody at City thought that CAS would throw it out on a legal basis, because, like CAS have just explained in the statement today, they can't, because the due process and the investigatory panel chamber has put it through to a higher level, and the investigation will go ahead. And what will happen potentially is that if we are found guilty and City then appeal it through the whole process, then we could possibly go back to CAS and appeal it. But at this moment in time, the due legal process hasn't been completed. And so we'll wait and see. It doesn't change anything as to what was released yesterday, where the rumours were by various journalists that UEFA are going to give up on this investigation because they're going to get wrapped up in court for years upon years upon years at huge expense. And would they really be able to prove, with regards to the alleged hacked documents, that City were in fact guilty of something? So this news today, it's ironic it's come out today after the leaked documents, the leaked reports yesterday that UEFA may give up on this whole process of FFP charges against City. Funny, today they've suddenly just made an announcement. I don't know whether the two were combined together and there was something in that. I'm not too sure. I'm not that far on the inside of that type of thing, but it is what it is. It's not so. Don't take it as, oh my God, this is bad news. It's not. It's just a pure formality. That's all it is. Right, let's get back. Kyle, bye. I'm not taking about Suarez, Safati. Anything slightly negative against City suits the agenda, Chris Baker. Absolutely, yeah. Kiam, the media are spinning the CAS stuff as they do to yet again make us appear guilty. Which one? Absolutely. Ake, City need Ake. 1 more week, mate. 1 more week, says Chris Baker. Good, buddy. Then we can get you back on the channel. Kiam, win or lose, the British Red media will ensure we are guilty. So the outcome is irrelevant. Edward says, Kiam, that's why I've struggled to keep up with this whole thing. Sanjay J says, Sky Sports say we are in talks to sign Johnny Evans. I'm going to talk about that. Ryan Corrie, 99% transfer rooms are nothing. Johnny Evans is one of them. Yeah, I agree. Edward Denham, Sanjay J, I can't see it. Carl says, is Soyuncu? It's Soyuncu you want. That's what Sky Sports said Sanjay. By the way, I'm not talking about Suarez the Fatty. What are you going on about with Suarez the Fatty? Right, okay, seeing as all people are talking about it, we have to talk about it, because if we don't, people go, oh, have you heard this rumour? Go, yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. Or the rumours are this, yeah, but we don't want to talk about it. The rumours are out there, so we may as well talk about it. And that is, this is the whole thing with regards to the two players. And this it was last night, actually, it came out on about Sky Sports. And Sky Sports News understands, there's the old word again, that Leicester duo Johnny Evans and Kagla Soyuncu are among a number of centre-back options being considered by Manchester City. So they're talking about options. The pair have been superb for the Foxes during an impressive start to the season under Brendan Rodgers. That's put them in second in the Premier League after 12 games. City are fourth, a point behind Leicester and 9 behind the league leaders Liverpool, after having injury problems at centre-back and failing to sign a replacement for Vinny in the summer. Pep wanted Maguire from Leicester, but he joined Man United, and now City are monitoring those who have stepped up in the England defender's absence at the King Power. However, Guardiola's previously insisted the club will not buy a new centre-half in January, despite having to play midfielder Fernandinho in place of Laporte. City wanted to sign Evans from West Brom in 2017, but had a number of bids rejected before he eventually signed for Leicester a year later for just £3.5 million after Guardiola's side bought Laporte in January 2018. Evans has made 42 appearances for the Foxes since and started all 12 of Leicester's Premier League games this season alongside Soyuncu. So, again, there is nothing major in this actual article. It's just speculating the fact that because we've got injuries, because Vinny Kompany's not been replaced, because Laporte's out, because Fernandinho's playing this, a centre-back because John Stones has been out in and out. It's just one thing after the other. People are just speculating that in January, City are going to sign a centre-back. I said to you last week, I think it was, there was rumours that City would look for a loan deal where possible as cover, purely cover, because they think Laporte will be back at some point in January, ready for the next phase of the Champions League. So there's no way in a million years Leicester will let Johnny Evans or Soyuncu leave Leicester in January. Absolutely no chance. And that, even if that was like 80 million quid on the table for Soyuncu, there's no way. There's absolutely no way they would allow Johnny Evans or Soyuncu to leave in January. They just wouldn't. But they're out there now. We know we're in the middle of November. We'll soon be in December, and then everything's going to ramp up tenfold because the January transfer window will open. And we're going to have all of these rumours for the next, God knows, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, non-stop. Let's go up. By the way, Evans is like Isco. They're always linked to City, but it's never going to happen. Yeah, well, I think it nearly happened. It's just they wouldn't go for the price that City wanted when he was at West Brom. It's all over Sky. What a surprise, absolutely. Edward Denham, John Grogan, Sky. Cava is the worst. I go on holiday tonight, got a flight late. Where you going, mate? Kiam says, does anyone get the impression that the media have been doing their best to derail last season? Just a little bit, Kiam. Aaron Johnson, I'd take Mangala back. Didn't we let him go for free? We did in the end. He definitely did. Mangala ain't a pet player. No, I don't think he is a pet player, if I'm being honest. Aaron Johnson, I know he's not a pet player. He's a defender, which is what we're lacking. It doesn't matter, Aaron. He's still awful. Edward Denham, Aaron, we could get a Girona defender then. You're going to America, mate. Wow, fantastic. Enjoy, buddy. Whereabouts in America are you going? Florida? Ryan Corrie just looked at our fixtures next month. Absolutely horrendous next 10 games. Kamal Mangala ain't a player, period. Poor Mangala. John Grogan, it's the international break. Media need to make up stories of transfers. Lazy journalism. Of course it is. He had a medal that Aussie did. Aaron Johnson, maybe if Fernandinho played where he should play, we wouldn't be leaking goals. Don't know about that. Stones, Otamendi, Norwich. We've leaked goals, even with Fernandinho as a centre-back. Yeah, you're going to Florida, mate. We'll enjoy, buddy. How long are you going for? A couple of weeks? Mangala, the GOAT. I'm not sure about that one, mate. But anyway, let's have a look at the next bit of news, and that is on. I mean, just look at that image. Who does he remind you of? Straight away when you see it, who does he remind you of? Don't remind you of anyone? Well, according to the Rumours, City have identified Sergio Aguero's replacement, and that is the young Argentine Lautaro Martinez. And according to Calcio Mercato, and also in Sport Witness, again, can't really sort of say that the two publications that are, genuinely spot on, but they're saying that Aguero is reportedly free to leave City from next summer, and the club have already started looking for their next star striker if Gabi doesn't prove to be the most suitable successor. One of the players being monitored is Inter Milan striker Lautaro Martinez, who's made an impressive start to the season under Antonio Conte. The twist in the tale is that rivals Manchester United are also said to be intrigued by the young forward, and they're in the market for a new striker after loaning and selling Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku to Inter Milan, as well as the growing feeling that Marcus Rashford is better suited to a future on the wing. But they're saying that Martinez won't come cheap to either Manchester club, with a release clause of €111 million. But Inter Milan plan to offer their player an extension which will tempt him to stay with the salary rise, as well as upping the current release fee. Bloody hell. 4 European giants are reportedly interested in Martinez, with the other 2 being Real Madrid and Barcelona, where compatriot Lionel Messi has supposedly given the player a glowing recommendation. Calcio Mercato also mentions that the Catalan club may even propose French winger Ousmane Dembele in a swap deal. So, if we look at Martinez's stats so far this season in Serie A, he's played a total of 16 games, scored 8 goals, and got 3 assists. And ironically, he's got 4 yellow cards, so he's a bit feisty, if I'm being honest. And trying to. I mean, if you look at transfer market, their current price for him is £36 million, and he's got an €111 million release clause. He's only 22 though, so he's only just turned 22 a couple of months back. But he's only small. He is in the sort of build of a Sergio Aguero. But if we have a look at what he did last season, seeing what he did in Serie A last season. Well, he played 35 games last season in Serie A. He scored 9 and got 1 assist with 7 yellow cards. So he's definitely a proper angry player. Looking at his overall stats, Racing Club, where he originally came from, he played 58 times, scoring 26 goals and 6 assists. And overall for Inter Milan, he's played 51 games, scoring 17 and getting 4 assists. So he has played at international level as well. But that is a lot of money. But then again, we are talking this time, rather than defenders, we're actually talking about strikers. So 111 million in this day and age for a striker, a young striker. And I know we got Gabby for 27.5 million, and he's done very, very well so far. You can't deny his stats. I think, is he not 4th in the list of most prolific, as in, stat-wise, goal scorers. So, but it looks like we know Sergio's going to be coming towards the end of his City career in the next 12 months. So, what are your thoughts? See what we've got. Edward Denham says Sergio, Chris Baker-Kun, Kamal Aguero. I can't see this happening, says Kamal. Has anyone seen him play? Ryan Corey, Lukaku looks like an absolute beast in that photo. Aaron, Rolando Bianchi. Kamal Lukaku is looking for his first touch in that photo. Ryan Corey, Lukaku is a beast. United ruined him. He's left, and I think he's the best striker in Serie A. Chris Baker, I see the politicians are turning up at the flooded parts of the country. Same whenever there's a disaster. Boris should get a season ticket at Old Trafford. Hi, Andy. How was your day, Ming Yuan? Yeah, been very busy with work stuff, mate. How's yours? Edward, is there any truth in the Yathabal? Well, look, I mean, as much as you can speculate about it, and like with all of these things, mate, we're reading reports, and unless you're on the inside, unless you're in the actual boardroom, unless you're talking to the likes of Varane and Cheeky and Pep, nobody knows. Nobody really knows. They're just newspapers have to fill and get clicks and things like that. It would not surprise me. Don't get me wrong though. With him, it would not surprise me if City are already making plans, if they're getting the inkling that Leroy Sané is not going to sign this contract. So it wouldn't be surprised if then it'd be prudent to be looking around for a possible replacement. So I can see where that comes from. But again, that could just be people, 1 + 1 = 3, and it's one of those. J Fresh on Heard Castro, RK Sandy, what's that about? Already spoke about it, J Fresh. You're late, mate. Already done the whole thing on cast, so you'll have to watch the video back. Ryan Corey, highly doubt it, Edward. Our left winger is rumoured to leave, so the media just throw out names and numbers for that position. Mingy Wong, my day was okay. A bit cold outside tonight. Yeah, it's turning cold. John Grogan, FIFA blames City for all the flooding and I've been investigated. Hey, listen, don't ever say that tongue-in-cheek because you just never know. What next? Angelino. Well, Angelino got a little bit of praise from an ex-City, some would say legend, and that is Yaya Toure. And in an article which is part of Football Fancast's Pundit View series, and what they do is they get a player's opinion, and the former City superstar, they call him Yaya Toure, has heaped the praise on Angelino after his recent performance for the club. The left-back situation has been an issue for some time now at City. The likes of Fabian Delph and Zinchenko have had to step into the role in recent years, while big money signing Benjamin Mendy's been injured. Now it seems that the City boss has found a man with a great ability for his left-back spot. Angelino has impressed since he's been brought into the side and still has only 9 senior appearances for the club. And in his latest display at Anfield, he surprised former City midfielder Yaya Toure. He told Sky Sports, Angelino played very, very well. I was so surprised by the young lad at left back. He was good and I appreciated him a lot. Well, you know, I don't know. We'll see. But perhaps Angelino's maybe. I mean, if they're saying maybe he is the man to take the left back spot from Benjamin Mendy, I'm not too sure about that. But the article goes on to say that against Liverpool, he struggled against Mo Salah. Well, he did on a couple of occasions, but showed fantastic attacking intent. In truth, he was one of City's best attacking players on that crucial day. I agree with that statement. And there's just 2 starts in the league so far. A former PSV man has averaged 1.8 crosses and 1.5 key passes per game, more than Mendy's 0.7 crosses and 0 key passes in a game. So at least Angelino's getting a little bit of recognition from an what some would call a legend at Manchester City in Yaya Toure. So, you know, I'm sure he's only young. I'm sure he's going to get better and better. Whether he's going to be right up there at the top, I'm not too sure. FIFA Blame said, yeah, got that. Still Matic, Jacob Handy, Barbados, locked on. Hey, well done. Oh, God. Hey, happy days in Barbados, mate. I bet it's lovely and warm there. Dudley Lewis, he doesn't seem clinical, a proper baller. Edward Denham, John Grogan. Dudley, who are you referring to? Kamal says, Yaya. Ian Moran says, needs to tighten up defensively. Yeah, I agree with that. Yaya is playing in the Chinese second division, and he still thinks he can play in the Premier League for another 2 years. Yeah, really? Dudley Lewis, the Sergio wannabe. Aaron Johnson, didn't he get sent off in their last game for him? It wouldn't surprise me by all those yellow cards, Aaron. Yeah, there was actually, looking at his stats, there were no red cards in there, so I'm not sure he got sent off. Otherwise, I think they would have shown a red card in his last game. Edward Denham, Kamal, I think he's deluded, and I have thought that since the birthday cake incident. You're probably with me, Edward. Mingy Wong, I like Yaya, but sometimes he was in the controversies of his own problems. Quality defensive midfielder. Dudley Lewis says, I don't know. What don't you know about, mate? So let's have a look. What else have we got? Okay, we'll move on to this one. And this, here we go. More speculation. And this is, according to Inside Football, and this is Barcelona have inquired about the possibility of signing Flemengo's 17-year-old midfielder Reiner, who has also been on Arsenal and Manchester City's radar. The 17-year-old midfielder has been making massive waves in Brazilian football this season after breaking into Flamengo's first team. He's scored 4 goals and provided 3 assists in 11 Brazilian Serie A matches, and he's been termed as one of the brightest young talents in South American nation. How many times have we heard that before? Barcelona have been keeping tabs on the midfielder for a while and are considering taking him to the Camp Nou. According to Spanish daily Mundo Deportivo, the club scouts have been keeping a close watch on him, and Barcelona have also inquired about a potential transfer fee. But Flamengo are unlikely to consider selling Reiner easily, and recently convinced him to sign a new 5-year contract with the club. Barcelona initially refused to pay a fee of around €20 million, but now his release clause stands at €70 million. The players can't believe if the club offer around 40 to 45, Flamengo would agree to let him go. However, Barcelona are not the only club alive in this potential, as Manchester City have also been in contact directly with his family. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid and PSG have also been linked with an interest in this teenage prodigy. So, let's face it, if I'm being honest, don't know much about the kid. Looks a big lad for 17, midfielder. He's not going to get a work permit. It's that simple. So if we were to buy him, and even for 45, 50 million euro, can you see City doing that? Not for me, I'll be honest with you. Probably one of those that might go to Spain, but if City did buy him, they're not going to get a work permit for him. Don't have to look at the Douglas Luiz thing and everything else. It'd be one of those, come here, go back to Flemengo, go to Europe, go to wherever. He's not going to get a work permit in the Premier League. So for me, another one of those, can't really see it happening, if I'm honest with you. Let's go back. Who else is on? Still love Yaya. Rodri is back. A big boost. Yes, Rodri will be back after this international break. And hopefully he's back. And he's fit and he's ready and firing to go because we need him. We really do. One last thing before we sort of wrap up for today. And that is a tweet by Robbie Fowler. And that was after Raheem Sterling. And it was obviously, if people watched it last night, I didn't watch it, I'll be honest with you. So I've not seen any of it. Obviously, England won, was it 6-7-0? And Raheem posted after Joe Gomez was booed as he came on as a substitute. And he said, to all at England fans, I wanted to leave things as it was. But tonight, I have to speak again. It was hard for me to see my teammate get booed for something that was my fault. Joe hasn't done anything wrong, and for me to see someone who keeps his head down and works hard. And Robbie Fowler replied, class and genuinely sincere. So well done to Raheem Sterling. There were obviously pictures of Raheem Sterling or videos, and I've only seen clips back of him clapping when Joe Gomez came on as a substitute. But it was nice to see that he's doing the right thing, even though he might and has admitted he did the wrong thing, hence why he was dropped last night. And it's a difficult position. It is a really difficult position for Raheem because he's done something wrong. Let's face it. If what he's done is true, and he said something to Gomez and then grabbed him by the neck and whatever else, and we can all have a bit of banter about it and things, but in front of all your teammates, you do that, and I know emotions were running high, but it's not something you can actually do. And was the punishment harsh? For me, yeah, of course it was. It should have just been kept in-house, got a fine and said, that ain't happening again. He's had to deal with it, and he's dealt with it in the right way. He's come out, he immediately apologised. He said it was his fault. He's took the punishment, which was last night. Not that it would have mattered anyway, whether he played or not. I mean, Montenegro or that garbage anyway. But good to see him sticking up, and so he should, and he has done. And I know some would suggest, well, it's just about his public image and thing. No, I think he genuinely wants another player not to be booed by England fans. But hey, it is what it is. Aaron Johnson, good article on the back of the MEN about Rodri playing at centre-back. Well, yeah, I read that this morning, suggesting that that might be his position and blah, 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 blah. It's one of those. He's been... My thoughts with Rodri are this. He's played all along mainly in Spain as a central defensive midfielder. He's come to the UK. We bought him to replace Fernandinho. Simple. That's the fact. We bought him to replace Fernandinho after this season. He's played mainly as a central defensive midfielder, and now he's not even got used to the Premier League yet. And he was just starting to, pick up, and he's done really well prior to his injury. But it's going to take him a while to get used to that. And now all of a sudden we want to convert him out of his position when he's brand new to the Premier League and now force him to play in a centre-back role. I'm not too sure about this. I mean, totally in Pep we trust, absolutely. Who am I to suggest that Pep might be wrong? But I don't know. I feel uncomfortable with it because if you suddenly take him out of his normal habitat and put him as a centre-back, he hasn't got the experience of Fernandinho. Fernandinho, yes, all right, he's not a centre-back, but on the whole, Fernandinho can play anywhere. Right? He's that good. But I don't know. What if he plays there, makes a couple of howlers? He's only just brand new to the team, and now we're throwing him in at centre-back. I don't know. Maybe Pep's seen something in him, but I don't know. Do you think Fowler means it, or is it PR? No, I think Fowler means that. I'll be honest with you. Martin's Man City Fan TV, boo. Hi, Martin. Kane scored 3 without scoring a pen. I'm shocked. Yeah, no. I was looking for where was his pen. Oh, you're okay, Martin says. Ming Wong Ryan, declining player stat padding against useless nations for England. Declining player stat padding against useless nations for England. Don't know what that means, mate. Was Fowler being sarcastic? No, I don't think he was. Southgate is a douche. If he had kept his lid on this, none of this guff would have happened. Well, yeah. I mean, you know what? I mean, my thoughts on this, Chris Baker, are this, and that is, what's more disappointing is that I heard somebody talking. It was a rugby player, England rugby player, saying this would have happened in the England rugby team. There's no way it would have got out, and there's no way anyone would make a big deal of it. It happens all the time, rugby players throwing punches at each other and, throwing people on the floor and whatever else. And it just wouldn't have got out because it wasn't a big deal. But the rumours are there are a lot of players in that England camp who are very close to some serious journalists. And that's where all the leaks come from the players to their agents to these friendly journalists that they're with. So I'm not sure Southgate would have been able to keep it in-house, and maybe he should have done. Maybe he should have just turned around and investigated where the leaks had come from. And maybe he has said, well, it's internal. We're not telling you anything. Would that have made the media then go on the witch hunt for Southgate and the players and I don't know. It's a difficult one for me. But you'd have to suggest, I personally would have investigated who are the ones, because since Southgate's took over in this squad, there's been nothing but leaks to the media about everything. City Fan TV, Martin, I'm good all. Have I missed anything big? Just left work on the way home, so can't comment too much. My apologies. Yeah, you missed tons, mate. You'll have to watch it back. Edward Ryan, I saw people downplaying Kane's hat-trick against Montenegro, but then saying Ronaldo was back to his best after a hat-trick against Lithuania. Spot on, Chris Baker, says Edward. Both have declined massively over the last year. Ronaldo isn't top 5 attackers anymore. I agree with that. I agree with that. What that comment, Ryan. Sorry, just a bit of a jump there. The media won't allow any negative stuff to remain in-house. If that was a Liverpool or United player, we wouldn't have known about it. Simple as. Ming Wong, Rodri has done well so far, so Pep can trust him. Give him time, and he will be good. I like Rodri. Kiam says, also Raheem spoke out against these scumbag journals, and they were always going to come back for him. Yeah, a good point. Breaking news, Martin. Edward says, this is what irritates me about the media, Ryan. We get linked to a decline in Kane, who would be very expensive after a report comes out about him being prepared to spend 100 million in January. Breaking news in 2 minutes. Promise, guys, it's huge. Don't know what that is. Edward Denham. It's just an easy way for rivals to mock us. Martin, you serious, pal? Kane would be 150 to 200 million. He would definitely be around 150 to 200 million, without a shadow of a doubt, up there. I'm just seeing if there's any breaking news, Martin. What's that all about? Nothing's come through. So maybe Martin's playing with us. One other thing, actually, last night Martin, what's this? And he's on a big contract. Yes and no, but I do have news, guys. Drink anyone. Kane is a good finisher, but offers nothing to the team as a whole. Ryan, I have half a crate left beside me, last night, so I'm down, Martin. Title is not over. December looks a fixture nightmare on paper for City and for LSE fixture pile-up. Whoever comes out December better will go on and win it, says Ten Kenobi. Quite possible. Breaking news, man. City will be at Burnley, guys. Got my ticket. What? That's the breaking news. Yeah, breaking news. Martin is a Liverpool fan. That's more like it. Kane isn't always consistent when it comes to scoring in big games. He's a finishing monster, and if that drops off like everything else, he no longer gets the goals to cover up his decline. Have a nice trip to Burnley, Martin. Tim Lee, MC, Fan TV, how are you, mate? What was interesting after Martin's live vlog last night, which we were talking about, Senor Tebas. Well, today, Spanish Federation calls for the resignation of La Liga president. The Royal Spanish Football Federation has demanded La Liga president Javier Tebas resigns for putting clubs at risk of serious sporting and or economic sanctions after a judge shelved the league's plans to host a match in Miami. They had intended for Villarreal home match against Atletico Madrid on December the 6th to be played in Florida, United States, but Madrid's mercantile court ruled on Friday that the league is not permitted to act of its own accord and its actions must be agreed and coordinated with the institution that directs football in Spain. The final decision is in February, but in the meantime, RFF is calling for the dismissal or resignation of La Liga chief Tebas for his conduct to the detriment of the federation and putting clubs in a risky position because it's illegal what he was actually claiming. So, hey, let's hope Tebas gets his comeuppance, but I doubt it. I think it's more a bit of infighting between RFF and La Liga. Because I'm sure RFF not put in some tournament in Saudi Arabia in February as well, so maybe there's a bit of power struggle going on there. What we got here? Alex is on. Hi Andy. Spencer 13. Hi mate. How are you? Did you get that info from Man City Fan TV sources, Martin? Leave Martin alone. He's 50 next week. He is. Nobody believes us. Saw your mail today. I'll email you back as soon as I get a chance. Don't worry, mate. Tim Lee, do you think we, City, should get a defender in the near future? Yes, I do. Mingy Wong, Martin is going to be a dipper anytime soon. Tim Lee, yes. Tim Lee, I think so too. Who would you buy, Tim? Martin, sorry, I'm excited. Got my Burnley tickets, that's all. What? That's breaking news. My God. Hi, Martin. Isco, disco, bugger off. Tim Lee, we could do with a centre-back and a left-back. How do Blues? Superior Being, how are you, mate? Actually, Martin is 21 next week. It's his 21st birthday, yeah, in his dreams. Hi, Alexander, by the way. Ruben Diaz telling you all he won't sign a contract, have a feeling. Can we press fast forward on this international break? Yeah, it's getting very, very tedious now. It's boring, isn't it? But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, that's just a quick roundup for today. All the sort of latest transfer rumours, speculation, gossip, call it whatever you want. So what we've done today is we have looked at CAS and they've thrown out City's appeal. We looked at Lautaro Martinez. We've looked at Flemengo's wonder kid Reiner. We've looked at rumours that Sky rumours that City are looking to hopefully try and sign Johnny Evans and Soyuncu from Leicester, which is utter garbage. Yaya praises Angelino for his performance. Robbie Fowler tweets Raheem Sterling to say congratulations for his support of Joe Gomez after he was booed last night. We've also looked, what else have we had a look at today? Let me just see. Was there anything else? Oh, I think that was it, wasn't it? We've covered about 7 topics today. So it is Friday. People are going out. People have got things to do. So we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow. And don't forget to check out the podcast. And I know that a few of you have actually... Oh, hang on a minute, Andy. Where is the juicer? I haven't bought a juicer. I haven't been out the house today, mate. I've been busy with work, so I've not been out. So I can't do it. I'll try and get one tomorrow. But I've got a house full, so trying to get spare time is very difficult. But I'll try and go out and I'll try and get one tomorrow. I promise. Could be 18 to 21. Would Lorenzo Insigne be a good signing for City? Very good player, Nippon. My lad is 23 today, actually, so party at home for me tonight. Internationals put me to sleep. They do me superior being. I put that. I did get the results through. I put a tweet out yesterday asking. Let me just see what it came up with, if I can find it. I put a tweet out yesterday asking, simple question, and your thoughts would be appreciated. Do you care about international football and go to watch it? Well, the 4 options were yes, no, watch it on TV but don't go, and hate international footy. Well, 7% said yes, they do care about international football. 18% said they hate international football. 32% says watch it on TV, don't go. And 43% says no, they don't care about international football. And that was, I don't know how many votes, it was about 150 people voted on that particular one. And I was actually asking, would you go and watch it if England took it on the road and went to places like the Etihad to play some, or maybe not Old Trafford, but I don't know, Villa Park, and go on a tour? Would you actually go and watch it if it was local to you? Because I honestly think there's a big divide between those who live in the south, who get access to go to Wembley and watch England, and those, the old saying, north of Watford Gap, don't go. I'm not interested in it purely because they can't go. It's always in London. And nobody really wants to drive all the way to London on an evening to go and watch England. So I think England need to put it on the road, but we know the big white elephant in the room is the cost of Wembley, and it's got to be paid for. So, it is what it is. Right, finally, just going to read your comments and I'm going. 35-day juice challenge before Christmas, says Kiam. Nippon, I know he's a good player, but would he be any good for City? Yeah, I think he's a good player. No one bit, only watch World Cup games from quarter-final on. Yeah, I'm a bit like that myself, superior being unless it's like, I don't know, a Brazil versus Italy or France or something, I might watch it if I'm in. Other than that, not really that bothered. Add another 5 more days of drinking orange juice. Kiam, I wouldn't watch it if all expenses paid from Canada. Bring back the home internationals. Yeah, I agree, Chris. I agree with that. I'd watch it if it was local, but I don't want to drive to Wembley yet. Me neither. Martin, I watched it at the Etihad years ago. I think we played Iceland, if I remember, and hated it. Yeah, it's one of those. I must admit, I would, on the odd occasion, I think if it was at the Etihad, I might get a ticket. I might go over and watch it, but on the whole, it doesn't really appeal to me. I'd rather, I watch City, and that's it. I didn't even watch it on the telly. I don't even watch it on the telly, if I'm honest. Unless it's a really big game, I've got nothing else to do, I might sit there and watch it. But other than that, international football does absolutely nothing for me whatsoever. But, hey, each to their own. I only just arrived, and you're off. Yeah, I've upset you all. Yeah. Everyone's bored of you. Alexander Savage, you skipped some comments, Andy, mate. Have a right, okay. Sorry, my God, getting told off for skipping a hello or a yes or something. Which comments have I missed? Drunk yourself to death so you can sleep with the whole international break and then come back reincarnated. That's what you made me skip all the way back to read out. Really, Alex. Martin is so hilarious. Hard to cheer someone who I boo week in, week out. Yeah, Martin's a proper boo boy. But anyway, listen, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Thank you so much for coming on. Go and enjoy your Friday evening. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, please, check out the podcast, part 1, 2, and this morning, part 3, with Cal and Yannick from the Football Therapy. And we talk about all sorts of things. Bernardo Silva, we talk about the start of the season for Everton and Chelsea, and Arsenal get an absolute roasting in it, so do Spurs. Not by me, but by the other two. And we talk about Bernardo Silva and his tweet and Benjamin Mendy. And we talk about we talk about Pep Guardiola, and we talk about, you know, Frank Lampard and everything else. And it's really interesting. So go over and give it a listen. I can't remember, the first one is around about 50 minutes long, and the other two are around 36 and 28 minutes. So they're not overly long. Bye Blues, bye Dudley. Would the Etihad be a host stadium in the UK and Ireland were to host the World Cup? Yeah, I'm sure it would do. The podcasts were really good. Thank you, Chris Baker. Bye, Andy. What time are you on tomorrow? Not too sure. Like I said, got a house full. Got family over from Miami, so it just depends on what time I can be around. And the house is quiet. That's going to be the biggest problem. I've just grabbed this hour now before my lads come in, and I've got Will back from university because his uncle's here and he's bringing his girlfriend, and we've got my father-in-law over, and it's going to be a massive house full. So I'm not sure. You'll just have to, if your settings are on public, you have clicked the bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as we come on. And it might be a lunchtime one, might be a later one. We'll wait and see. I meant boo as in scaring you all, not boo the vlog. That's honestly serious. Sorry for mix up. All the best, Andy and Blues. You too, Chris. Great podcast. It's amazing to listen to part 3 today. Wow, it's great. Well done, Andy and Carl and Yannick. Thank you. Have a great weekend, Blues. Take care. Like I said, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Comment below the video. This video, if you missed certain parts and you came in late, it'll be on the channel in about 30 minutes' time. We'll be back tomorrow, and I'm actually thinking I've got a video that I might do tomorrow. So if I can't get on at some point, watch out for a video that I'm going to make. And it's all about January. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Take care. Enjoy your evening. And we'll see you tomorrow.